An unlucky St. Patrick's Day. Dear Dad, it was a gorgeous sunny day outside, St. Patrick's Day to be exact. Officer Cheatham called me down to his office while I was in sixth period. Moments before that, I was enjoying my anatomy lab, laughing and studying with my friends, Ristina and Nicolina. When he called me down, I thought he just wanted to talk to me about an upcoming opportunity or just to simply say hello. You remember him, don't you? He's the pastor of my church, short with a pot belly. Well, he's been working at Barberton Schools for many years now. I was walking into the guidance office where his office was located. I walked around the corner toward his office, thinking I would get some good news. I reached the front of his office door. I stood there and looked in. At that moment, all I can remember is seeing Mom and Becky sitting in the two chairs against the wall. The office was a tiny space, so I could see everything through the narrow glass on the door. Officer Cheatham looked confused. He had his hands folded with his face down, waiting for my arrival. Mom and Becky had tears in their eyes. As soon as I touched the ice-cold handle on the door, they looked up. I started to turn the knob, but I let go. My heart sunk into my chest. I knew something was wrong, but I was thinking what was the worst that could have happened. Granny and Pawpaw are gone. Uncle Larry is gone. So what could it possibly be? Who else is sick? What went wrong? I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. I could already feel the tears circulating, not even knowing what is wrong. I finally walk in and take off my book bag. Mom was sitting there rubbing her legs and looking down into her lap. Becky was consoling her, rubbing her back. I sat there for about 2 of the longest minutes of my life until Mom spoke. Gabby, I just got a call from Bridget. She was struggling through her tears. She said, your dad got up this morning complaining to the neighbor that he was short of breath. They called 911, but he stopped breathing in the ambulance. I could not believe what I just heard. An engulfing wave of emotion went over me. I immediately started crying. My hands went to my face, and my face went down to my chest. I don't think I have ever cried so hard in my life. I was screaming, crying, and yelling all at one time. Why? How could this happen? I could not believe it, and I still can't. After a few minutes, I began to settle down, but the thoughts in my mind were swirling. I didn't know what to think or how to feel. At this point, I was sniffling, trying to bring everything together. Officer Cheatham said, you can get all of your things and head out with your family. I will sign you out for the day. I am so sorry for your loss. You know I will be here anytime you need me. I nodded my head and walked out. I was walking through the dim hallways with balled up moist tissue in my hands. I had my head down the whole time. The bell had just rung and the students were fleeing to get to their next class. It was weird for me because I'm always the happy one, always in good spirits, and I never let things get to me. For my friends to see the complete opposite of that was an eye-opener for them. Everyone was asking me what was wrong. I just said nothing and continued walking. When I got home, Nick was there and he asked, are you okay? I said, I'm okay, but I don't really know how to feel. I wasn't really close to him, but that's still my dad. I stayed in touch with Bridget and Kira the whole time up until the funeral. I know you wanted us sisters to become more active in each other's lives. It's sad that it had to take your death to accomplish that. After a few days, I helped pick out your casket through a group chat. Bridget sent Kira and I pictures of the ones we were able to choose from. The original one I liked was tinted navy blue, but it happened to be out of stock. We picked another one that was baby blue with silver rails. Bridget said it would match your suit. We decided on that one because it would look the best. The funeral was almost on my birthday, March 26th, but I refused to see you for the first time in 10 years in a casket. They were able to move it back a day before my birthday. It still hurt a lot knowing I would be waiting for a birthday card from you that I knew would never come. Our trip to Alabama was very long, 12 long hours riding with Roy, Livy, Becky, and Mom. Ever since the day I found out you passed on, my anxiety and thoughts were draining me. I was up all night thinking about you and what our relationship should have been like. I was nervous the whole way there, but excited to finally see the family. We arrived there around 1 o'clock in the morning and found our hotel room. We stayed in the Hilton Express. It was so beautiful inside. I stood in the middle of the hotel and looked up to see each floor with white and silver banisters. The lighting of the room was dim across the first floor's turquoise walls. The queen-size beds were comfy and the breakfast was delicious. Sally, the next day was your funeral. Getting ready to go to the church where your funeral was held was the hardest. I wore a white lace dress with a blue jean jacket. My hair was straightened, overshadowing my golden necklace. Bridget stopped in my room before the service. We hugged for a long time, and she met my sisters. She told us she would meet us at Grandma's house, where the cars would pick us up. When we arrived at Grandma's, everyone ambushed me with hugs. They were so excited to finally see me again. All of your sisters said I looked exactly like you. The shiny black cars from the funeral home pulled up, and we were on our way. I met Braley and Bridget's husband for the first time. He's a nice guy, and Braley is so beautiful. We distracted ourselves on the way to your funeral by talking about my future career and college plans. They told me that you would be very proud of me. We arrived at the funeral where the guests were awaiting us. We walked in and the first thing I laid my eyes on was you. I blocked out all of my surroundings. I patiently waited in line leading up to you. I was nervous. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. It was you. The man who called me his baby girl. The chocolate man who was 6'1" and always wore a smile. The one who faithfully played his bass guitar at his church every Sunday. Your black suit with an assortment of blue accents matched the casket just as we thought. Your salt and pepper mustache curved along with the soft smile of your lips. The soft smile your lips showed. All of these years I had imagined what you looked like, and it was exactly what I pictured. I wanted to touch you, but I wouldn't because I knew you would be able to show no affection back. I just stared at you while I thought, wow, that's my dad. The ceremony was beautiful. Your co-workers and friends shared nice words about you. Auntie Jessica said that you were the best brother ever and she would really miss you. Kira was hysterically crying. After she calmed down, she got up to tell how great of a dad you were to her. She said, Dad will sit there at my chemotherapy appointments with me and have long talks. He stayed there for hours at a time to comfort me. It made me wish that you could have been that active in my life. It made me smile anyways because I knew how great of an impact you made in other people's lives. A man that was in the Navy with you said a few words too. His son played the bass guitar in honor of you. He played one of your favorite spiritual songs called Nobody Greater by Vashawn Mitchell. It goes, I climbed up the highest mountain. I looked all around, couldn't find nobody. Way down into the deepest valley, looked all around down there, couldn't find nobody. I went across the deep blue sea, couldn't find one to compare to your grace, your love, your mercy. Nobody greater than you, God. After the ceremony, we took you to be buried. I didn't like the place where you were buried at because it was on a hill. The grass wasn't taken care of. It was brown and unattended to. I put all of the scenery inside and enjoyed the folding of the flag for your service in the military. They had a rainbow of flowers and we were able to take the ones we wanted. It was a very bittersweet moment because I got to see my family, but I had to let you go. Every day I picture those beautiful flowers in my mind and think of you. The day after your funeral was my birthday. We went to breakfast at Cracker Barrel with Auntie Cheryl, Bridget, her husband, and Braley. We caught up on things and went shopping. Later that day, we went to Grandma's for one last goodbye and to take a ride on the trail across from Uncle JD's house. I felt awkward around them because I wasn't